Hey guys, this is God of Politics. I'm going to go to a brand new video, but before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description, and follow me on Twitter. But in today's video, I do want to talk about the state of Florida and answering the question, is Florida now a safe Republican state? Now, there's a lot of talk about Florida being a state that is always going to go to the Republicans at this point, with the fact that Donald Trump won this state by 4.4 percentage points here. Now, there are many reasons why Donald Trump won this state by this much, and I did not predict he would win by this much, but I did predict that he would win the state of Florida. I thought that with the early voting numbers and the fact that it was his home state, and he won it in 2016 and in elects incumbents, I thought all of those factors combined would lead to a narrow Trump victory. He ended up winning quite easily, but you do see here that he won by 3.4 percentage points here, and mainly that was because of Joe Biden's underperformance in Miami-Dade County and Osceola County. And you look at how much he underperformed, and it was just insane. Joe Biden won Miami-Dade County by 7.3 percentage points. If you go back to the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton won Miami-Dade County by 29.6 percentage points, or actually 29.4 percentage points. So that is a huge trend. That is over a 20-point swing to the Republican Party. You also look at Osceola County, where Hillary Clinton won this by 24.8 percentage points. Joe Biden only won it by 13.7 percentage points. And you see a similar story here. You know, Joe Biden did well in Broward County, almost as well as Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton won it by 30. Joe Biden won it by 30 as well. You look at Palm Beach County, Hillary Clinton won it by, Joe Biden won it by just under 13. Hillary Clinton won it by 15. So those counties didn't trend too much. And if you look at some of these counties, you look at Pinellas County, Donald Trump won it by 1.1 percentage points. Joe Biden actually won this county by 0.2 percentage points. So some counties in the state actually trended towards the Democrats. You look again at Duval County, where Joe Biden won by 3.9 percentage points. Donald Trump won this county by 1.4 percentage points in 2016, and that is part of that suburban shift there. And, you know, this is clearly evident, these suburbs trending towards the Democrats, but the reason that Joe Biden didn't win the state or didn't come that close to winning the state is because of his underperformance in Miami-Dade County. Now, if you want to look at historical elections in Florida, you can see obviously 2000, it was very, very close, decided between, 500 votes. Al Gore actually didn't do that well in Miami-Dade County. He only won it by a similar margin to what Joe Biden won it by, around 6 percentage points here. But the reason that he came so close to winning the state was that he did so much better in these rural areas, the Panhandle, those kinds of areas. And if we go to 2004, where George Bush actually won the state of Florida by just over 5 percentage points, you see a similar story to what you see now with Joe Biden, and that is that John Kerry only won Miami-Dade County by less than 6 percentage points, and he ended up losing the state by 5 percentage points. And in this election, you had those rural areas trend towards the Republicans. You look at areas like Duval County, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County. Those are all red counties. Even Osceola County at this time, which, has grown a lot in population since 2004, is very different now. But at the time, it was a red county, and it is, the same story in actually 2000 it went blue, but by very narrow margin. 2004, this is what you see. Then you go to 2008. You see that when Barack Obama won the state of Florida by, almost 2 percentage points here, you see that he won it actually by more than 2 percentage points, 2.8 percentage points here. You see, when he won it by 2.8 percentage points, he only won Miami-Dade County by 16 percentage points approximately. And, where did he get all those votes from? Well, he did better in the rural areas. He did better in these areas along the Panhandle and in these areas in Central Florida. You look at the 2020 election, you see that this is, mostly very Republican. You go back to 2008, these areas were a lot less Republican at the time. So, Barack Obama didn't have to do as well as Miami-Dade County to be able to win the state. It's the same thing in 2012 when it was a very narrow margin in Florida, within 1 percentage point. He won Miami-Dade County, at this time he won it by even more. It trended towards the Democrats this election, and he won it by 24 percentage points. And then, as you can see here, you go back to 2016, Hillary Clinton won Miami-Dade County by a record margin, almost 30 percentage points here. And she did very well with Latinos. If we do want to look at the exit polls from 2016, we look at the Florida exit polls here and we look at it by race. We can see that amongst Latino voters in Florida, Hillary Clinton won them by 27 points. We look at the Florida exit polls this time, Joe Biden only won them by 5. But what's the interesting thing about that is that it seems that Donald Trump's policy, or not his campaign strategy of calling Biden a socialist, running ads in Spanish, those things aren't really true. Joe Biden is not a socialist, but those things, that campaign strategy by Donald Trump seemed to have worked, and it seemed to have swayed a lot of Cuban voters, which were already Republican, but, it made them more Republican and it made them turn out. But we look at the national exit polls, we see that Joe Biden won Hispanics by 34 percentage points. Hillary Clinton won them by 38 percentage points. Joe Biden only did 4 points worse with Hispanics nationally. But if you look at the state of Florida, Joe Biden only won them by 5 points here. He did 22 points worse in the state of Florida with Hispanics. And that is the reason why he did so much worse in Miami-Dade County. That is the reason he did so much worse in Osceola County. But that's the reason why he did better in Duval County and Pinellas County, because these are areas with less Latino voters and more white voters. And, that same thing is exemplified in the 2018 elections, where you had Bill Nelson and Andrew Gillum not do that well in Miami-Dade County. And what this proves is that Democrats actually don't really need Miami-Dade County. At this time, they will need Miami-Dade County. In the past, they didn't need Miami-Dade County. But at this point in time in the state of Florida, they will need Miami-Dade County because they're not going to get back these rural areas here. These are areas that, like the rest of the country, have trended towards the Republicans, these rural areas. But you look at these suburban counties, if Joe Biden or Democrats in the future can continue to gain in these areas, they can win the state of Florida, but they're going to have to do better than Miami-Dade County. There's just no excuse for how bad Joe Biden did with Hispanic voters in the state of Florida. And Florida is a very important state. If Joe Biden did as well in Miami-Dade County and Osceola County as Hillary Clinton, it would have been very close. I would expect Donald Trump would have still won the state, but it would have been very, very close here. And you look at the shift from 2016 to 2020, you can see those suburban areas trending towards the Democrats, even some areas in the Panhandle trending towards Democrats, and Central Florida largely remain unchanged. It was just these two main counties, 11 points more Republican in Osceola County and 22 points more in Miami-Dade County. You see some more areas in Central Florida here trend towards the Republicans too. If Democrats in the future don't do as bad in Miami-Dade County, they do, just half as well as Hillary Clinton, they're in the running for winning the state of Florida. It's not over in the state of Florida for Democrats. Sure, Republicans have the state legislature and they're going to gerrymander, but the map is already pretty gerrymandered. And, this is a state that I expect to start off as lean Republican in my first ratings for 2024, and it's a state that I think Republicans will win. But in no way, shape, or form is it a safe Republican state, a state that Republicans will always win at this point. But it does give Republicans a very important cushion. So, say in the future with all these trends and things like that, Democrats win Arizona, they win Georgia, which is looking like they're going to do this election too. They win, maybe a state like Minnesota. They very narrowly win a state like Minnesota. Republicans very narrowly win Texas, very narrowly win Wisconsin, very narrowly win Michigan, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. At that point, Florida becomes a very important state, and it gives them a cushion. And even if they were to lose a state like Texas, at that point, they're not going to be able to win unless they can win a state like Georgia and Arizona, but that doesn't really look like a plausible map. So if they lose Texas, it is over, as I've been saying for a while. But if they do win the state of Texas, and they do lose the state of Arizona and Georgia, and they do win a state like Minnesota and losing the rest of the Rust Belt, Florida does give them that cushion. Florida, if you give it to the Democrats at that point, Democrats would win. But it is a state that if Republicans, I guess, can more solidify, it'll be very important in them winning in the future. Because if you've got to worry about winning these two big prizes, Florida and Texas, then you're going to have a very hard time campaigning to win the race. But it does look like Republicans are in a good position in Florida. If you have a Democrat in 2024 that comes along, probably it's going to be Kamala Harris. She may be able to do better in Miami-Dade County, and she may be able to do better in Osceola County. That'll make the state a lot closer, and the state does like incumbents. But I do expect it to still go to the Republicans in the future, but in no means is it a safe Republican state. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.